Shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth, 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere in your children. Shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, it's going to be building off another video from the brother the Hopeful Like 3. And then today's video is going to be titled, You Devils Are Being Exposed, right? And that's talking about ultimately you Edomites. You see, you so-called white people, you're ultimately being exposed, you see, for all of the wickedness that you're doing in the earth, man, that you people ultimately try to hide, that you try to, cover up and, things like that is all being brought out to the forefront, man. Because ultimately we know, as it says in the book of 2 Thessalonians, I'm actually grab that chapter 2 and I'm going to read verse 3. It said, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, right? That was our people falling away, right? And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That word perdition means destruction. And we know that man to be none other than Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And this devil is being revealed for who he truly is, man. You see, and this is why we ultimately know that soon come this devil's about to come down with great wrath, because ultimately he knows he's been exposed, man, for who he truly is, man, and ultimately the wickedness that he has done in the earth, man. You see, this man has been doing nothing but, being a demon since he's been in power, man. You see, raping, robbing, murder, just doing all type of different things, man. You see, and we know ultimately that this man was created for this, right? As it tells us right here, I'm going to grab this. Revelation 6 and verse 4, it said, and there went out another horse that's representing power that was red, and that's talking about Esau. And power was given to him, right? Because he was ultimately given this power from on high, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see, that's Job 9 and 24. You know that the earth is given over into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If so, where and who is he? We know that's talking about the so-called white man today. So it says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that's what this man has been doing since he's been in power, taking peace from the earth, man. You see, being a complete demon, right? It says in that they should kill one another, and that was given unto him a great sword. And that sword represents this man's blessing, what he was ultimately, gifted with from his father Isaac. You see, that's what he was blessed with. And this man has been ruling with that sword since he's been in power, man. Right. But like I said, everything that this man has done, you see, is all falling back on him, because guess what? He's being exposed for it now, which is wonderful. You see, so we're going to get into this video, and I'm going to allow it to play. And I'm going to grab a few more precepts. And I pray this video be edifying. But with that being said, fair use. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use.
Time to talk about something America rarely wants to say out loud. The vast majority of mass shootings and acts of domestic terror in this country are committed by young white men. Not immigrants, not refugees, not black men, not the groups we're so often told to fear. The numbers don't lie. Young white men are pulling the trigger. Now, that doesn't mean being...
Right, and you hear what it is she's saying, and she's absolutely right. You see, because when you mainly look at the news, the main faces you're going to see depicted on these news channels involving crime, and you see the violence being high. They always try to point it off at Jake, man. But we know that this man is the accuser of thy brethren, man. You see, this man is the devil. And we know, as it tells us also in, I got to grab it, Psalms chapter 58. And I'm going to read verse 3, right, in the KJV. And it says, the wicked, right, the wicked, talking about you Edomites, you devils, are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. You see, so everything that this devil does or that he says, you see, is ultimately a lie. You see, we know that Edomites are the main ones ultimately, committing all of the violence and crime worldwide, man. You see, that's what these devils are doing. But like I said, that doesn't get put on mainstream news. You see, they don't allow those topics and things to come out. But as soon as Jake does one thing, you see, it goes televised, man. Because like I said, this man is the devil. He always got to try to make it look like our people is the true problem when it's really him, man. You see, this man is the damn devil, right? It tells us also right here, I'm going to grab this. This is Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, for they sleep not, right, except they have done mischief, you see. So this man can't even sleep peaceful at night unless he's done some wickedness, man, unless he's did something, that's wicked, right? So it says, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall, you see. So unless they cause some people to fall, you see, whether they do something, that is not right, you see, they're not going to sleep well at night, man. They can't sleep well unless they're doing some type of mischievous thing, man. You see, because this man's the devil, right? And this is verse 17. It says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You see, because like I said, Esau is a violent man. You see, all of these devils are, man. And like I said, that violent nature that they've been known for is being exposed, right? It tells us also right here, I got to grab it. This St. John chapter 10, verse 10. KJV, this is red letter Lord Yahushua speaking, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. It says the thief, right, represent Esau, cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. You see, like I said, this man was created to take peace from the earth. You see, his people, man. You see, these Edomites, that's all they are known for, man, is being violent. You see, destroying, killing, you see, stealing, right? Throughout history, look at everything that has ultimately happened, man. This man has been stealing since he's been in power, stealing land, stealing people, stealing heritages. I mean, this man has just been doing all type of madness, you see. But like I said, that's what this man was set up to do, right? The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. But like I said, the point was made. You see, that's what this man ultimately has been doing. You see, is, just being wicked, right? But like I said, that's what he was created to be. As it tells us right here. This is Proverbs chapter 16, and I'm going to read verse 4, right? And it says, the Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked, right? Talking about Esau, for the day of evil, right? And that's why the Lord ultimately has created this man to be the wicked of the earth, and ultimately creating him for the times and seasons that we're about to come into, Jacob's trouble, and things like that the Lord is going to use this man in a time of, right? So like I said, I'm going to get back into the video. We're going to finish watching it.
White or male makes you violent. What it does mean is that history, entitlement, and culture collide in dangerous ways. White men in this country have been told for generations, the system is yours. The jobs, the status, the power, all guaranteed. But when that promise doesn't show up, when diversity, progress, or economic shifts feel like a threat, some of these young men don't just sulk, they lash out. And violence becomes their way of trying to reassert control. Now, this is the moment where in order to...
And you hear what it is that she's ultimately saying, and that's absolutely true, man. When look at all of these Edomites you got on these different social media sites, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, they're ultimately the main ones that are complaining, about how bad everything is getting in America, you see, as far as the economy wise and how things are getting worse for them. And you see that these devils are in the spirit of ready to crash out, man, because like ultimately that's all they know is how to be evil, man. You see, you can't create something that's crooked upright, as it tells us in the scriptures, right? And I'm going to grab that precept real quick through the spirit as well. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. And I'm going to go to verse 13, right? And it says, consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight, which he have made crooked, man, right? And ultimately, that's talking about Esau, because he was created crooked, man. You see, this man was created to be the wicked. So there's no uprightness in him. There's no, way of trying to make these devils, be holy or righteous people, man, because they were not ultimately created to be that way. You see, so these people are only created just to be, a cancer of the earth, man. You see, created to bring forth death, destruction, and violence, man. Right. And like I said, that's all being revealed now. Everybody is knowing that this is who this man is. That's his true nature. Right. You devils, man. Right.
Deflect from the real issue, certain people, like clockwork, decide they want to talk about high crime rates in Black communities. So let me pause and make a few things make sense on that score. High crime in Black communities is rooted in history and policy, not character. Generations of redlining and housing discrimination, concentrated poverty and cut-off wealth building, underfunded schools and limited access to quality jobs created economic deserts to go.
Right. And you hear what she's saying again, and she's absolutely right. You see, Esau, and we know it goes to the curses as well, but ultimately we know that Esau, he's the one that ultimately, put Jake ultimately in the position that they're in. It tells us in the scriptures he helped forward the affliction. But ultimately, he's doing these things because, like I said, he's in rulership right now. The power is in his hand for a short period of time, soon to be out of his hands, you see, because the Lord is getting ready to take this man out, right? But I'm going to grab this precept as well. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe, meaning destruction, to them that devise iniquity, right? Talking about wickedness, sin, and work evil upon their beds, right? When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands, right? And that's you Edomites, man. You see, that's why you ultimately do the things in which it is you do, because, like I said, the earth is given over into the hand of the wicked. They're controlling everything right now. You see, that's why they do these things that they do. But like I said, hey, it's already soon coming to his end, man. You see, this man doesn't have long, right? And like I said, that's ultimately what's going to lead over to this devil coming in like a flood, man, because he knows that he had but a short time. And he knows that, like I said, off of all of the history and all of the different things that he have done, that's ultimately being uncovered, right?
Along with the food deserts, while disinvestment left neighborhoods without resources that stabilized community. At the same time, systemic overpolicing and mass incarceration disrupted families and eroded trust. Add untreated trauma, scarce mental health support, and the easy availability of guns. I wonder how that happened. And you see structural inequality produce conditions where crime can thrive. It's not about broken people. It's about broken systems. And to be clear, because perspective matters, even with all those factors facing the Black community, according to FBI data, white Americans are arrested for the majority of crimes in this country, including the majority of violent crimes in this country. But Black communities are policed more aggressively, prosecuted more harshly, and punished more severely. The result is not just crime rates, but a cycle of criminalization that makes it seem like the problem is the people, when in reality the root cause has always been policy. Conversely, the data does not suggest that the historic systemic policy issues and environmental factors causing high crime in Black communities are also factors for the young white men turning into domestic terrorists, lone assassins, and mass murderers in this country.
Right. And we heard what it is that Eve said. And like I said, she was absolutely correct. You see, you devils are the terror of the earth, man. You see, the real true criminals, man. You see, the real crooks, the real robbers, the real, wicked, man. Devils. You see? But like I said, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. Like I said, not nothing, long, just a quick hit through the spirit. But yeah, you devils are being exposed, man. And your time is short, E. So with that being said, to the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.